Hello, welcome everyone to our first episode of this second season of Dragon Age. I am Simon at Wandering DM. I will be reprising my role as Herald and surprise, other stuff over the course of this season. That said, before we delve into the game, before we introduce everyone, I would just like to thank all of our sponsors for tonight's game, beginning with Magen Press, makers of 5th edition D&D supplements. Check them out at store.magenpress.com. They have a Kickstarter coming out next week on the 29th of July for a starter kit of their Dark Matter adventure campaign setting. If you like sci-fi fantasy, if you've enjoyed the Dark Matter campaign that we ran here for over a year, check them out on Kickstarter on July 29th. And check out also Found Familiar. Great coffee company. You can get your hands on Found Familiar coffee on the internet at foundfamiliar.com. And if you use code WanderingDM, you get 10% off your purchases. Which one is the other one? Ah, yes, Roll20. Roll20, the virtual tabletop that we use for all of our games here on Wandering DM. You can check them out at roll20.net or use the link in chat. And last but not least is our partners through the Diceomancy program. The Big Purple Torch and the panels down below. Check them out if you're interested in shiny new dice. They have some particularly gorgeous dice set that came out within the last couple of weeks. So I would highly suggest that you check it out. Either use the link in chat or the purple torch down below if you want to get luxury dice for all of you dice goblins out there. That said, why don't we go around the table? Introduce yourselves for those of those in our viewers that maybe haven't watched season 1 yet. I'd say tell us who you are in a few lines. Well, more like the character that you're playing, and maybe something that you did in season 1 that you would like to be remembered by. Start with Verissa.
Oh, hi, that's me. Hi, all. You know me. I'm at Deirdre Donlan on Twitter, or Praxagorth as Mephoria, see me around on Twitch, and I get to play Verissa. Sneaky, stabby, Dalish elf archer who is entirely well-adjusted and not at all in a very fucked up place right now. And didn't, I may have accidentally shot, no, it wasn't accidental, it was entirely intentional. I did shoot Anders at the end of last season. And there might have been flirting with Zevran with who's a better killer, so, fun times.
Next would be Bastien.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrew at Anderful1 on Twitter. Bastion, our Ferelden warrior, the strong, silent type, which I don't know what's going to happen this season. We'll have to find out. Last season, Bastion brooded. He brooded some more. I think there was something involving a door at some point, and some good conversation with Mavia, and then touched something he had really no idea what it was, and that's kind of where we left off.
That didn't involve Mavia, just to clear that up.
Would not, no, never. He's much, just no, that wouldn't have worked anyway. I mean, went into the forest and followed people who were, touching this mirror-like thing, and just was like, hey, that's where we're going. Let's get to it, people. Must keep everybody safe. Yeah.
Next would be Mavia.
Oh, hi. I'm trying to fix my camera. I'm Kelly, aka the Opera Geek. I play Mavia, who is totally legitimately an adventuring hero with lots of experience under her belt and knows everything that she's doing is proper and good. As we left last season, she had almost just run away from the party, actually. And Bastian stopped her from running away from everything because she had gotten scared. And I believe she got the final one-liner of the season when she stepped backwards through the portal thingy that Kelly doesn't know what it's called because, spoiler, I've never played Dragon Age. And she says she just wanted to be a hero. And, contrary to everything Kelly has learned from murder podcasts, she did not stay out of the forest. She did go into the forest. It was a bad idea. Anyway, that's me.
Do we introduce our new cast member right away?
Well, we can introduce Gabe, just not his character quite yet.
All right, we'll introduce Gabe.
Hi, I'm Gabe. I'm going to be playing a character without giving too much So I've been watching actually for a while, and it'll be interesting because my character will probably have a good dynamic, but everyone is so chaotic. I don't know how well he'll manage. He is innocent and pure and good. Kelly, don't make that face. Deidre, really? All right, whatever. Hi, I'm Gabe. We're going to have a great time.
And before I leave the mic to Tanya, I'm Simon, playing Harold. I am known for cold cuts, silk sheets, and
Champagne bathtubs?
yeah, a lot of innuendo. That's Harold. He's also a Grey Warden. Used to know Fenris from way back when. Actually, have sort of a hero worship thing with Fenris. It's very, very weird. He has a lot of feelings inside, and he left Fenris on the other side of the Illuvian at the end of last season. So, Tanya.
Oh boy, let's see if my bad memory will serve me. So, hi everyone, welcome back for some more Dragon Age shenanigans. I played all the NPCs, including Inquisitor Fenris. That had some interesting times with Harold, but he was held back from running through the Illuvian at the end of last season. And before we go forward, does anyone have a recap or anything they want maybe new viewers or old viewers returning to know or remember, either for our own edification and memory or for any kind of tidbits before we jump into the action?
Bacon is essential.
Hair ornaments make Iron Bull happy. And
do.
and it is not Varisa's fault that people keep having conversations loudly in front of open doors, windows, or in small buildings where sound carries. It is not her fault whatsoever.
All right. Harold or...
Yeah. We were tasked by the Inquisitor to hunt down an apostate by the name of Anders, who blew up the Kirkwall Chantry. The apostate was last seen around the village of... I don't remember the name of the village.
Cold Harbor? Not Cold Harbor.
No, that's in ESO.
That's ESO. I was like, wait, I was just there.
Yeah.
Wait. We have it...
Wrong.
I fooled
Crestwood.
them because they tried to take
Crestwood.
my soul, but I am a ginger. They could not.
We left for Crestwood after a feast was held at Skyhold upon our arrival. So we left with a team of ourselves, the Inquisitor Fenris, and Iron Bull. We made our way to Crestwood, learned that the mayor there had sunk part of the town and basically drowned a lot of people in it. Refugees for the most part, people that were also afflicted with the blight. There was, oh, that's true, on the way to Crestwood, Harold found out that Blackwall, the Grey Warden, was not a Grey Warden. And that launched a season-long debate of whether or not Blackwall should undergo the rite of the joining. And, well, he did. And if I remember right, he died
Yep.
from the joining at the end of the season.
Yep.
And you need and you needed Verisa to help him. It was like Verisa's like, "Do you want me to help you move that body?"
So rip Blackwall. And aside from that, in Crestwood, we found an abandoned Warden outpost that had a map in it. Map that Mavia promptly stole and tore into pieces. While she and Iron Bull left to try to find what the map was about, we encountered someone who had an appointment there, none other than the ex-ruler of Ferelden, Loghain MacTier, who was waiting for none other than the champion of Kirkwall, Hawk. They met, they talked, we had a long discussion about what we should do and why they were there and everything. We brought everyone back to Skyhold, and that's where my memory gets a bit fuzzy. There was alcohol, there were charcuteries, happy fun times, and Scout, I think it was Scout Harding that found traces of Anders.
Yeah, but you missed something there, Simon.
Sorry.
Bar fight.
You missed Hawk getting pissy about
Oh, yes.
Harold and Fenris.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
true. Hawk was all like jealous.
Yeah.
I still have feelings for Fenris, even though I'm a dick and stuff like that. And yeah, a fight erupted in the Tavern of Skyhold. What is it? The
Harold's Rest.
the Herald's
The
Rest.
Herald's Rest.
And I had Hero's Rest for some reason. Anyway, we found Anders in the woods surround near Skyhold. We gave chase, and he went through a mirror.
He did.
And
Also, Mavia stole a bunch of money during the bar fight, which I believe she shared with Bastion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we also established that whiskey must not be wasted.
Whiskey must not be disrespected.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what started the bar fight.
Actually, wasn't
No,
it
wait.
because someone
Yeah,
wasn't
it was
I trying to
because
step
Harold-
between?
Yeah, because
No,
Harold
no,
slapped somebody with
Hawk-
salami.
Harold threw the salami at Hawk. Hawk turned around and Verisa was there, and instead of hitting Harold, hit Verisa.
Not a metaphor, by the way. It was actual salami.
That
that had been used.
wasn't.
Nope.
No,
Nope. Nope.
Well,
Nope.
no.
Nope.
might have been room temperature by the time it was thrown. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. Anyway, we went through the Alluvian, and that is where we are.
Well, some of you went through the Alluvian. Remember, Fenris, Bull, and Zevran are still on the other side.
Yes.
At the camp you all set up after you went through and tried to find Anders, who kind of slumped through after he was attacked and hurt. So, with all that backstory, let's begin through an Alluvian darkly. We're going to start with Harold, actually. No, I take that back. We're going to start with Zalanis because for those of you that may have noticed, Eugenio's not with us. He has a paying gig that is also the same night. So while we're sad to not have Zalanis, get paid though. So we're going to wrap up Zalanis' story for now, not forever. And then we're going to meet everyone in this season's shenanigans. So Zelanis has gone through, but he got separated. Even though everyone kind of went through at the same time, there was no guarantee that you all wound up in the same place. So Zelanis finds himself in this forest of mirrors, and he looks over, and there's a statue of a wolf overlooking this forest of mirrors and strange trees, like in the map you see now. He calls out for everyone. No one answers. You know, he's resourceful. He's Dalish. He's not going to be cold, alone, and hungry. But for now, Zelanis is separated from the rest of the party. What he gets up to, we'll find out. Maybe later in the season. Maybe never. Who knows? That's what fanfic's for. But Zelanis, unfortunately, has been separated from the party. And hopefully you'll find him again. Who knows? And I want to go to a different part of the, not the Fade, because you're not in the Fade, to a different part of the map, as it were, as it literally is. To an elf that is wandering about, kind of lost. Not Zelanis, but definitely an elven mage who looks like he may have been there a while. He's wandering about. He doesn't seem too lost, but he is curious about the fact that the Illuvians are starting to activate around him. They're not usually active. They're not usually lit up in the way that they're starting to all around him. So, Gabe, introduce your character.
So my character's name is Athson. Now, Athson is a brown-skinned elf with reddish tones in his hair, soft-looking eyes, no facial hair, but a light brown to his eyes. He has a very calm appearance with a little bit of a smirk. The sides of his head are shaved with a dreadlocked mohawk going down the back, long robes, and a staff with what looks to be almost like an emerald-colored gem at the end. And it's almost as if maybe he's smiling because he's a little uncomfortable and confused, but that's an exciting prospect because that means there's something new, something that he doesn't know, something he hasn't learned yet.
Okay. And what is your character's name again?
Athson.
Okay.
Can you just spell it out for me so I can have the proper one on the overlay?
Yes, I can. Athcen. Athson.
Thank you.
All right. Athson, you are noticing these active Illuvians. Are you going to go investigate them? Are you going to kind of steer clear of them?
Absolutely. Nope. All in.
Okay.
He's a lovely fool.
He's a lovely fool. All right, then. We're going to come back to you, and we're going to see what Harold's up to. Harold, you two have been separated from the group. You know, you are in a strange, dark place with just broken Illuvians all around you. And it doesn't seem like you are with any of the other party members that you thought you went through the Illuvian with. What do you do?
I call out. Zelanis? Bastion? Verissa? I guess. Mavia?
Nothing. No answer at all.
If I look back to the Illuvian that I just came in through, do I still see the forest on the other side with everyone, or?
No, that Illuvian has gone dark.
Oh shit. Anders?
No answer.
That was worth a try.
Oh, please, Anders wouldn't answer you if he was on that side of the Olympian with you.
I mean, I don't know. I could have like bluffed him or something. Um, do I sense any dark spawns? Like, first thing to check is like, am I in danger?
Give me a roll. Let's see if I remember how rolling works in this game.
No problem. Where's Harold? Hello, Harold.
Yes. What are your rolls?
So that would be. Oh yeah, remember I suck at perception.
I mean, you did wind up in the wrong part of wherever this is.
I have an 8.
Actually, I'm going to give you an advantage because you are an elf, and even though you were raised in Tevinter and partially in the circle during the time you've been free, you spent some time studying your culture to make up for what you weren't allowed to learn when you were younger and still enslaved. Roll again and give me the higher roll.
Sure. Ooh, that's a whole lot better. 14.
Okay, so poor Harold is not just here like, oh, it's a mirror. So you recall books that you got to read in the library, both with the wardens, also in the tower, and the little bit of time you got to spend in Skyhold, the other elves, and conversations with Solus. Even though you didn't like him too much, you still, you did have something to learn from him. And you know that this is called, the mirrors are called Aluvians. And this area shouldn't exist. It should be a fairy tale, and it should be something that elven parents, specifically Dalish parents, told their kids to be wary of so they wouldn't run off in the forest and get kidnapped by Shems or something. This place shouldn't exist. So what do you do?
As an elf, and I just need to remember, the elves in the Crossroads see everything in bloom and color, right? Or is that in the Fade?
So elves would see everything in the Crossroads, because whether or not they were raised as Dalish elves, they still would have an affinity for the area that they're in. A Dalish elf, obviously, that has been raised with these traditions and raised with these stories, would have recognized where they are immediately. I mean, you went through an Alluvian, but the area you're in is kind of surprising to you. And at least where you are for now, it just looks very like a forest in fall, but the trees are very strange.
Okay, I'm gonna try to just lower the sound of the alert box for a second, because we just got a bunch of gift subs, so thank you. But why is my alert box not muting itself?
I don't know. I don't hear it, so.
People in chat might hear it, that's the thing.
Oh, true.
So I just want to see if...
because I got the stream muted because I'm smart.
Okay, well, we'll see. Otherwise, it's just me that hears it, and then that's fine if it just... Okay, yeah, Kitty heard it, so... We, At worst, what I'll do is, the next time we have a train of gift subs, which I am super thankful for, but if someone's talking at the same time, what I'll do is I'll mute the alert box completely. So that doesn't happen. So, are there any... Because I see the image right now that you've put on the map. These trees don't look natural. They look like statues, like carvings, or...
They look unnatural. They were formed by something that is definitely magic beyond anything you would have learned in the circle. Do you want to investigate them, or what would you like to do?
Harold imagines that he is still facing the same way that the mirror was in the forest.
Okay.
So what he's going to do, I'm gonna try to go back to Skyhold.
Okay.
Try to like guide myself with the. Is there a sun? It's, first question: is there a sun?
There's a sun.
Okay. I'll assume it orbit the crossroads plane thing orbits the sun the same way. Anyway, it should be like depending on the time of the day, facing east or west. So using that, Harold would try to aim for Skyhold, try to see if like anything changes in that direction.
Okay.
Harold
So
did not go in the was not in the Boy Scouts, the Eagle Scouts, so he doesn't understand the principle of if you're lost, you stay where you are.
Okay. So are you going through a mirror, or are you just like trying to direct yourself using the sun?
Direct myself using the sun, like avoiding banging into mirrors.
Okay. So you are headed off to where you think Skyhold may be.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to leave Harold to wander a bit. The rest of the group, you all managed to somehow stay together. And when you realize that you've gone through the Illuvian and you're still all together, what do you all do? Because this is the strangest forest any of you would have ever seen. And Marisa, at least, may know where you are, depending on if you want to roll or if you just assume because your work and your Dalish, you would know these things.
I mean, I think she would know once she went through where it is, and her first look is to see if she can find Zelanis.
All right. Are you just wandering around, or how are you trying to find him?
She doesn't leave. She's just like, she calls out for him in Dalish and just kind of pairs around where she is. Right.
Okay. No answer.
I can roll that perception if you want me to.
Go ahead, but Zelanis will not answer you.
Yeah, that's not gonna be good. So that's a 19.
Yeah, I mean, these trees aren't. The trees aren't like normal trees, and you should, if he was around, you should be able to see him. But what you see instead is the rest of your party, minus Harold and obviously Zelanis.
Is Anders with us? Because he fell backwards after I shot
him. He is not visible, but you do see a trail of blood leading away from where he should be. So either you have kind of free-fallen, traveled through this Illuvian long enough for him to have stumbled away, but not that far, or he's not in good shape somewhere nearby.
Verisa looks then for Harold, assumes she doesn't see Harold, and she turns to Bastion and says, I'm going to go get our wayward mage. Apparently he might be of an answer. And she's just going to go get Anders. And she's visibly angry for the first time you've ever seen her.
Don't kill him.
He can't answer questions if he's dead.
Just make sure.
Mavia, what are you doing?
So Mavia, now we had discussed at the very end of the, out of character, at the very end of the last episode that you weren't sure how it was going to affect a dwarf going through the magic portal.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly. Assuming I haven't, exploded into bits, she would be kind of, as she would have come through the portal, she would have probably gotten knocked on her butt. And she's just staring up at, the now black portal, and she's looking around at the trees. And she's just saying to herself, I wasn't even supposed to be here. I was not supposed to be here.
You're right. You weren't supposed to be there. So is that all you're doing? You're just having this crisis at this moment?
She's having definitely a major crisis at the moment of what the shit did I do?
Yeah. And so Bastian, did you go with Verissa, or are you just kind of staying there with Mavia?
No, I'm gonna turn my attention over to Mavia, and so Bastion is gonna turn around and kind of take a knee next to her, and Mavia, it's okay. You made it. It's okay.
Where are we?
I don't know yet. Verissa's gone to get the mage. We're gonna have answers. Just breathe.
I don't like it here. I like it even less here than I liked it there.
Yeah.
Why didn't you let me leave?
Because we have to stay together. I can't protect you if you're not near me.
As she's sitting there and she's just kind of doing that thing where you're kind of rocking back and forth, she is going to reach down to her pouch and take out snacks and just start eating.
Okay.
Bastion will reach around to his own pack and just take out what little bacon he has left and make sure that she has a slice of bacon with her snacks.
She does not even look. She just reaches out and takes it. She's like that pug that wakes up when you wave a bacon under its nose. Like, she knows where the bacon is. It is there. But yeah, other than that, Mavia is a bit shell-shocked. Because all she wanted to do was get out of her hometown scot-free, and this is not how she expected to end up.
So, Bastion is gonna kind of leave her. I mean, she's eating, she's responsive, albeit shaken. He's gonna look around and see if there's anything that can tell him where he is, or if anybody, like, is there anybody else around, is kind of his concern. Is there anything that is immediately dangerous aside from all of these mirrors?
No, not necessarily. Actually, the whole area looks very barren aside from these mirrors. So far as you can tell, you're the only like living sentient creatures around. But while you are doing that, you're checking on Mavia, 2 Illuvians, basically on each side of you, both light up. Out of one Illuvian, Aston comes out, and you spy this new elf. It's not Solanus, it's not Harold. And out of the other Illuvian on the right, another new person shows up that looks very confused to run across other people in this very strange Illuvian and bizarre tree-filled forest. New character, who are you?
I guess that would be me.
Yes.
Hello. Coming out of the Illuvian, you would see a not particularly tall nor particularly short human man. His hair sort of graying. He has both of his sides shaved, and the rest is tied up in a ponytail. He's wearing a modified robe, basically opened up in the middle. That looks more like a coat, like a duster, than an actual wizard robe. He's walking with helping himself walk with a stick, a short staff. Nothing elegant or flashy. He does have a sword strapped to his side. and he looks around. Oh, in a small backpack that he has over one shoulder.
All right. And both Aiden and Athson, you spot not just each other, but a shell-shocked looking dwarf and this human warrior. You don't see Marisa because, well, you don't know Marisa exists because she's wandered off to find Anders, which you also don't know exists yet. So what do you do upon exiting the Soluvian and finding not one other person, but 3 other people?
Is one of them closer to Bastion than the other?
Athson. Let Athson and Aiden react. And then we'll see what Bastion does.
I pinch myself a little bit. No, I'm awake.
This place is getting crowded.
Are you all... How? Why?
Where?
Are you the only one that speaks? Do they not speak? Are they broken?
I don't know.
Mavia is now looking at the 2 newcomers with what the actual hell is going on.
Go poke one.
Bastion is gonna rip out his glaive and just aim it at someone's face.
Whoa.
Okay.
Who are you?
Gets a little closer.
Where are we?
Where do you want to be?
Not here.
I don't think I can help with that one. And then he just walks back over. It's just probably like looking at you from maybe a couple yards away and then just almost like looking at a painting.
Is Bastion wearing any like identifying Templar stuff?
No.
Okay.
Aston definitely looks like a circle mage.
Okay. And Aiden, remind us again what you're wearing.
It's a... You know the kind of coat that Varric is wearing? Like that long, open coat?
Yeah.
With scarves tying up his clothes underneath, a tunic and pants. So it's a mix between Varric style and Mage Hawk style.
Okay.
Once I have the drawing, you will see.
All right.
But there's no mistaking that this person is unarmored. Not a like tough as nails warrior or anything of the sort.
Okay. Mavia, what are you doing?
I think that she probably would have done almost like the tennis match thing where she's like looking at both of them as they both come out of the portals, because I assume they were on like different sides.
Yeah.
And she's just like, and she gets up and she wipes her hands on her pants because she's done with the baking. And she kind of straightens herself up to, all of her like 4 feet of height. And she's like, Bastion, maybe with the, no. And she like puts her hand up on the glaive and pulls it down a little bit. She's like, maybe not now.
But we don't know who they are. We don't know where we are.
Yes, but they could answer both of those questions. And as someone who has very often had sharp things pointed at me, I'm much more talkative when they are not. And so she will look up at Athson, because that's who he pointed his glaive at, correct? Was Athson? Yeah. So she's going to kind of look up at Athson. Do you know where we are?
Technically, yes.
Would you like to share where we are?
Not really. It's interesting watching you learn.
Yes, but I'm very scared right now.
Oh, you have nothing to be scared of.
What makes me less scared is when I know things.
Well, here, let me look. Consider this. You're in a lake, and then the lake turned upside down. You're still in the lake. You're just not drowning anymore, because
But
the
the water
water's
fell
below.
out.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm not falling.
No, not yet.
But if the water fell out, it's not really a lake anymore.
Well, the lake is now below you. The part that was the lake is now the ceiling.
She reaches into her pocket and takes out another piece of bacon and just starts eating.
Do you know
So-
him?
Yeah, where'd the water go?
It's still where it was. It's just
But if the floor
your
is
perspective
the ceiling,
has shifted.
so are we standing on the ceiling right now and like that's the ground? And she points
s-
up at the sky.
If I say yes, does that make you feel better?
No.
Yes.
What's your name?
Athson. What is yours?
My name is Mavia.
See, now let me ask, do you feel any better with that knowledge?
Knowledge of your name?
No, the knowledge of the world, where we are.
Well, no, because it still doesn't make sense.
Told you.
Well, now you just sound mean.
Who are you?
Oh.
Bastion will turn and point at Aiden.
Oh, I'm no one. You should listen to the gentleman over there.
He likes his riddles. Where are we?
Imagine you walked into a lake.
Okay, we've already been through this.
And you made me put away my glaive.
I did.
Well, if you're going somewhere and you don't know where you are and you see someone who you think knows more about it, why do you think they would tell you anything if you point a weapon at them? That means you're giving me reason to make you more lost and confused. And if you get stuck in here, it's your own choice for being a hostile fool now, isn't it?
Because you might be dangerous.
Well, here's the thing, Hudson.
If I was dangerous, you'd be drowning right now.
Okay, well, first off, there's no water, which doesn't preclude drowning. That can happen. We can talk about that later. It's very interesting. But you see, the problem is for you at the moment is you were paying attention to the guy that had the big blade in your face, and you didn't notice the dwarf that has a dagger to someplace much more sensitive.
Oh,
Could you please stop treating this like a game, because I am very scared, and when I am scared my hands are shaky.
you're assuming I'm treating this as a game. No. Let me clarify. I am not overly friendly because I'm treating it like a game. No. I'm overly friendly because I'm not afraid of any of this. There is many worse things to fear than bleeding and pain.
I know.
Then maybe don't threaten me.
I'm not threatening you.
Maybe don't speak in threats.
Threats
Hidden
would
with
involve
glazed
me not
words.
following through on things.
Let's not
Now-
all get hasty and stab each other.
I'm not going to stab them. I
Them.
just want them to know that when someone is very scared, speaking in metaphors because you find them fun isn't always the best choice.
But what if that's how I understand it?
Okay, I give up. I'm going back to my snacks. And she puts her dagger away and she just kind of walks away and sits down on the ground.
May I have one of your thoughts?
That sounds possessive and I don't think so.
No.
I didn't ask you, Glaive. And his
Bastard.
disposition changes very quickly in that moment. And then goes back to the friendly smile. I understand. Mavia. And then he's looking back around.
Well, all right then. While we have this very awkward moment between the characters, let's see what Faris is up to. There was some blood on the ground for you to track. Tell us how tracking Anders is going.
And for Verisa, she can't let him get too far away. He's the one that opened the Illuvian. If he's the one that is the reason Zalanis isn't here, then he must have answers about why this is going on. And what she didn't tell anyone else, but she was the only one who saw when she was looking at Anders at the time, she was the one who noticed that Anders switched voices and personalities and gave the impression that there might be something more than just a mage involved.
Mm,
And if he's turned into something that's a bigger problem, well, she's going to track him down, she's going to drag him back, and then she's going to question him. And
okay.
her personality is not the relatively pleasant Marisa most people have come to see recently.
Okay. Give me rolls either for tracking and or investigation.
Perception or, perception?
Yeah, perception. This is what happens when you don't play a game for a couple months. You just forget what everything's called.
12, 15, 17.
All right. You
Wait,
have
no.
no.
Yeah, no, I'm right. Sorry, 17.
You have perceived quite well, and you're still seeing the tracks from Anders' blood,
Mhm.
and you're because of such a good roll, and also you're Dalish, and this is what you do. Even as the blood drops dwindle, you can still track him until you've come to a couple more Illuvians, one intact, one utterly shattered. And the blood spill has dried up about maybe 5 feet before you find the dais where these two mirrors are. You know that probably going through another Illuvian, especially leaving everyone behind, may be a bad idea. But also, you're an adult. No one can tell you no.
She's not going to go through the Illuvians. She's not going to leave the Shem or the dwarf by themselves. And she marks where they are and which one. And can she tell, like, did the Illuvian shatter recently or was it older?
You would have to go up and check it. Just looking at it, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, she would go up and check it then. She's not going to try and activate the other one, but she just wants to see if this, if she can tell you know, if it shattered recently, then there's possibility he went through that one. But if it didn't shatter recently, then she knows he must have gone through the one that was still intact.
Give me another perception.
12, 17, 19.
Oh yeah, you can tell that this one has been shattered for quite some time. And Veresa's not a mage, remind me.
Yeah, she is not a mage.
Okay, so if she were a mage, she may be able to sense something from the mirror, even though it's been shattered ages and ages ago. Like, this is weather-worn. Things have gotten behind the shattered glass. It has not fallen out of the Soluvian that's been broken. The other one is fully intact, but there's no way for you to tell if it's been used recently. So it's there, and, you know, because you're such a good hunter and rogue and tracker, you'll be able to get back to these two Alluvians no problem. But for now, all you know is one is broken, one isn't.
Yeah, but she's gonna go, like, she doesn't have the magic to do with it, but she's gonna bet on just what she knows. If this has been broken for a while, then he wasn't that far in front of me. He couldn't have been gone through the broken one.
Correct, because the broken one has, you know, signs of age, and
Yeah.
you know, upon investigating it, it's just not. There's just no way anyone could have used it, especially not a Shem mage that was hurt.
Yeah, she doesn't miss. She sighs, puts the bow back on her shoulder, and then moves very quickly back to where she left Bastion and Mavia, but not ignoring the dangers of this place. If that makes sense.
Yeah, so you know this is the bad place.
Yeah, she yeah.
Yeah. So when you get back, you find 2 extra people. What do you do?
And Athson looks like a circle mage, but he's an elf.
Correct.
And the other one is a Shem.
Correct.
And she just raises an eyebrow at Bastion and Mavia and says, "Are we killing them or not?"
Whoa.
That one hasn't spoken. That one speaks in riddles. Up to you.
I mean, Verisa, I know you're upset, but maybe don't default to shooting everybody immediately because they might have answers.
Are either of you possessed?
Can we talk for a moment? Because I can be on my way. It's just, people are rare here.
Yes, coming through the crossroads is a bad idea.
Usually something done in desperation.
Pointing to Atson. Yes. Yes.
So why are you here?
I got lost.
Maybe I will look at Atson and say, "And why are you here?"
I would like your answer first, since I have been given promises of violence, and you are treating me very much like people I have known. And
Question.
Sorry about that. And so she reaches into her bag and pulls out another one of her trail snacks and offers it to Atson.
I appreciate that, but I have not known you long enough to know that you would not poison me.
I mean, I'm eating the same thing.
I have met assassins who have taken their own antidotes early on.
I mean, I would have had to spend years building up an immunity to it. I don't think that would be a great thing. Okay. Not a great use of my time.
Quick question.
Yes.
Athson does not have any Vaseline, correct?
Are you asking me or are you asking Gabe?
I'm asking Gabe. Gabe. Athson doesn't have any face tats, right?
No.
Okay. We're here tracking an apostate who's probably possessed and a danger.
Oh, fun.
Aiden tenses
not.
up.
And
Fun.
I didn't shoot, and it's not either of you because I didn't shoot either of you.
You all have a very strong affliction to violence, don't you?
Product of the times.
I mean,
no,
we just
the
ended up
choice of the times.
in a place where we didn't know where anything was. And I really don't know what's going on. We're chasing somebody. I was supposed to get paid. I didn't get paid. I was supposed to get like 5 meals a day. It was in the contract. I only got 2. And you know, it can really start to wear on you when you're hungry and frustrated and go through like an interdimensional portal and no one tells you what it is.
Would you like a hug?
Will you eat the trail snack?
Sure.
You first. She holds out the snack.
He eats it.
Okay. She stands there and lets him hug her.
Yeah, he just gives her like an awkward hug.
Okay.
All right.
There.
Not sure I feel. Yeah, I know it's like.
Okay, I've been that 5'4" with those 6' cousins. It's always
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So, yeah,
He went
we're
this way.
chasing somebody that we really think is a bad person, and we're missing people from our party, and we're a little worried. And you both seem to know what's going on in this place.
Oh, I have absolutely no idea. I came here as a part of an escape.
How long ago?
Since everyone's been talking for a while, as a Aiden uses this.
What is Aiden doing?
I sense, for free, I can sense the mood of an intelligent being within 6 yards of me as a minor action. So as people were talking, Aiden just checked everyone. He wants
Joke's
to-
on you. It's an intelligent creature. Haha.
You're still sentient, Mavia. You're still sentient. Jesus.
So he would just like to, know what is the strongest emotion everyone's having right now.
Nervous.
Mavia.
A mix of confusion and fear.
Okay. Marisa, are you telling?
Varisa, I think like depending on how this works, but what you would probably get is that level of that perception of anger that's covered in ice. Someone who is extremely angry but hyper focused and not dealing with it.
Okay. And Bastien.
Absolute blood curdling rage.
Oh, all right then.
Okay.
What do you do with your newfound knowledge?
I think emotions are running high. Who were you fleeing from? New people.
Fleeing? We weren't fleeing. We were hunting. Anders, apostate, Grey Warden, blew up the chantry. Shot with an arrow.
Wait.
Went that way.
An apostate blew up the chantry?
You've been missing for a while.
Do you tell him which chantry? Because it's not like there's just one chantry.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's the
Kirkwall.
the Kirkwall Chantry. Kirkwall Chantry.
It's not like the movie
like
where it's like I'm going to the store. And there's one store.
But it's like you do that, right? You just say like it's the store that's closer to you, so you go, I'm going to the store.
Right.
But yeah. I mean, it's not like Verisa really judges Anders for blowing up the chantry. She doesn't really care.
It's more that Salamis is missing, and
yeah, Salamis is missing, and
Okay.
so yes, the Kirkwall Chantry.
And,
Apparently, it was a problem for a bunch of Shem mages.
well, without getting into the chantry, yeah, there are tensions. Are you hired by the chantry to find this apostate?
God no.
Okay. We're making progress.
Would I work for your god?
What? I don't pray to the maker.
Oh, so you pray to the creators.
You can say that.
Interesting.
So we've established that none of you here are working for the Templars or the Chantry. How about you, Riddle Man?
What about me?
You affiliated with the church?
No.
Great.
all right.
Maybe by the way, during all of this, after she got her awkward hug, and has decided that Aston is now her friend, because this is how it works with Iron Bull. So at some point, you're probably going to get a hair ornament. You're just going to have to accept it. She's going to walk over to Bastian and just kind of pat him as high as she can reach on his arm. And she's like, "It's okay. It's okay. It'll be fine. You can put your big stick away."
So he was kind of still leaning on it, and will, at Mavia's prompting, actually sheath it on his back so it's really out of the way.
Yeah.
And he's still pissed. No. Keep your snacks, Mavia. I've got what I need. Keep your snacks.
Or I went through Milduvian this way.
That man you're chasing, or woman, person, are they Elven?
No, they're a Shem mage. Said that, didn't I? And she kind of turns and looks at Bastian and says, "I said that in trade, right?"
Yes.
It might have just been the player behind that had a bubble in the brain.
Question. Would Mavia know that word?
Which word?
The one that Verisa keeps saying?
Shem?
Yeah.
She would, because in her travels after leaving her dwarven clan, she would have probably heard it in passing, because while it is it's more common amongst the Dalish to use Shem as a slur against humans.
Mm-hmm.
Most elves, Dalish or city, would call the dwarves what is the word? Children of the stone, and they would, they'd probably seem to have stone sense and things like that. So you would have heard it, but it's not common enough where it may have stuck in your brain, because for the last couple weeks you've been around the Inquisition. And, being that the Inquisitor's an elf, no one would dare call him like a knife ear, and he's a city elf. So he doesn't really say Shem that often, because can you imagine the Inquisitor? He'd get canceled for saying Shem.
I think my
Yeah.
point was, would Mavia know that it's a slur? She would know that it's not nice. basically.
Yes, she would know it's not nice.
So, because she's standing next to Bastian, who's her friend, and if I recall, Bastian's a human?
Yes.
Yeah. So Mavia's gonna, I don't know how she really walks. She kind of, I guess, dawdles over to Verisa, and she just kind of touches her arm, and she's like, you really should not with that word. It's just a thought. And she kind of gestures over to Bastian.
Would Bastion have heard that?
You would know that Verisa has never referred to you that way, though.
No, I know.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you're in an open area, but you're not. It's not like you're so far away that you wouldn't have heard it. And there's basically like, in movies when everyone's like, it's quiet, it's too quiet. This is what being in the crossroads is like.
Sebastian is just gonna kind of turn around and look at Mavia and just, Mavia, don't, it's fine. She can use the word. It doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me.
Okay, but I'm just saying that words matter and we should think about them. And she just sits back down on the ground. Someone
Thank
let
you.
me know what we're doing.
Verissa, do you know where we are?
We're in the crossroads.
What are the crossroads?
In the old days, they were a means of transportation, a pathway. And then, well, the cities fell, the humans came, and the magic changed. You know how the boogeyman, or you heard stories of your parents telling you things would take you away in the night if you weren't good or be well behaved?
Mm.
This is where they come from.
Where did Anders go?
This way. He went through another Maluvian.
Can we make it through ourselves?
Tanya, would she know that you would need a mage to theoretically activate it with control?
She would. And she would know that there's one of two ways to do this, either through illicit blood magic or Zolanis, because he's a keeper. But your keeper is not among you. So, but should there be a blood mage with your party that as far as you know, no one around you would dare do blood magic. But I think this is actually a good place to pause because everyone is confused. And when we come back, we're going to let Verisa finish and figure out what you can do about the Saluvian that you tracked the blood trail to. And then we're going to see what the hell happened to Anders, Zevran, and Iron Bull. And I just realized I have to voice 3 NPCs all by myself, so I'm smart. I'm a great DM that way, so I paint myself in a corner every week on the show. But let's go take a break. Everyone get some water, stretch, get a snack, get some bacon if you got it. We may be gone long enough to cook bacon. I don't know. But go get a snack, get some water, stretch, and we'll be back soon. everyone. We survived the break somehow. I don't know how, but we're back. When we left off, Verisa, you were making some discoveries about our new friends, I believe.
Yes. Verisa then turns to Athsin and very nonchalantly, oh so nonchalantly, just says, kind of like aside to, while she's staring at Athsin, to Mavia, she says, tell Ababas. And she tries to gauge Athsin's understanding.
What?
Tell Abelas.
Mavia, or at least Kelly, is very confused, and I'm assuming you don't expect Mavia to understand her.
Oh no,
Mavia would not understand.
Okay, good. So she's like, tell to you too.
She's trying to gauge if Athsin understands her.
There's a It's a little confused look, but you can gauge the yes. He is understanding what you're saying. And the smirk is probably gone actually after that.
So, do you wish to join us on our hunt? Or are you going to wander around through the crossroads for the rest of eternity?
That was a strange way of saying let's work together, but sure. Tell Abelas.
I figured.
Mavia is now doing this like a tennis match. What are you saying?
Giving apologies.
So many. Polite introductions.
Maybe it doesn't quite believe them, but...
Yeah. Oh, he's not convincing.
At
Gabe,
all.
yeah, Gabe you would say it. He's not. But he is watching Verisa very closely now. A little bit of caution and concern. So, how should we get out? There are a couple ways, I'm sure.
The blood trail went this way. And the mirror he went through went that way.
But neither of them ever told us how long they've been here.
Well, isn't it better that we leave?
I mean, we can leave, but I mean, you could probably ask one of them. I'm really just going to talk at you until you give me an answer of some kind. It's going to happen. I just keep talking, and trust me, I can do it. I can really do it. I will ask you everything under the sun until you give me an answer if I've annoyed you enough.
I was a student of the circle. I had to listen to people who thought they were smarter than me talk at me for hours. You can talk at me as long as you like.
Oh, I don't think I'm smarter than you. I'm not smarter than most people.
And he just starts walking.
I can just talk a lot. Hey, have you ever ridden anything? Do you think you could like ride a
Is that an offer?
buffalo? A what?
Is that an offer?
I don't have a buffalo. I don't own one. My friend, he says that he enjoyed that
And then he goes back to walking.
I mean, and she's just gonna follow you, asking you every question she can think of. Have you ever had any pets? What's your family like? Do you have siblings? It's just like it fades.
Yes. Dead. No, technically.
What does technically mean?
Well, I answered the second question dead, so.
But then you have, okay. I will keep doing this unless someone interrupts me, so you might want to.
Someone stop her before I make her dance like a puppet, please.
Look, we can't violate TOS if that's how you try to make her dance.
Not that one.
You said dance like a puppet. You didn't say what the strings were.
No.
Kelly.
How dare? Okay, never mind. I didn't sass Tanya. Nope, not me. Didn't do it. Didn't do it. I got the look. I'm just going to drink my martini.
Verisa moves to the front and starts guiding them down the path that she knows.
By the way, is it a fluffalo? I don't remember what it's called.
Druffalo.
Druffalo.
But it's okay that Mavia
is.
doesn't know.
It was a perfect Mavia moment, though.
It was a pinnacle Mavia moment. And she just... Verisa is keeping an eye on everyone, but there are now 2 mages that can open the door.
What?
Are you coming?
If you invite me, yes. I would love for a chance to get out of here.
All right, so maybe, or God damn it, Verisa is now in the lead. Maybe is very confused. What is Bastien do? Because I'm sure you're just standing there like, what is happening?
Very what the f.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, no. Maybe I would have run back and grabbed you by the hand.
oh, so I'm being dragged along with
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Bastion is literally being dragged by Mavia while she's attempting to assault Atsen with every question thinkable within the universe that we
I mean, Mavia assumes that Bastion likes her questions, so she's just dragging you along by the hand.
Bastion will secretly grin at the fact that Atsen is being tortured, or at least bothered, by Mavia's barrage of questions, and therefore not be so bothered by being dragged by Mavia in the process.
Man, if only we had a map. A map would be really useful right now. Do you still have that map? Maybe that map was for here. Bastien, do you still have your part of the map?
No,
I think I have mine, but I think we lost like the lower left corner.
something like that.
Maps
Oh.
won't help you here.
I mean, maps don't help me anyway because I can't read them.
How have you made it this far?
I lie.
And you
She's
stab
good.
things.
I also stab things.
She's really good at that too.
He starts like brushing off his tongue to see if there's any residue of the food that was on there after hearing you say I lie.
Your staff is very impressive. It's got a knob on the end. I know a song about that. Do you want me to teach you that song? I taught Iron Bull that song, and it was
No.
very, very fun. I can teach it to you too. Do you like to sing? I like to sing.
Who's this Iron Bull you keep mentioning? Is it a friend of yours?
He's my friend. He's very big, has one eye. He never told me if he still got the other eye behind the eye patch, but I only asked once, and that was kind of rude apparently, so I didn't ask again. Maybe it's feeling much better.
You might talk too much.
Well, then maybe you should talk some more, and then I will have to be quiet because I'll have to listen to you, but you're not talking or saying anything, so no.
Hmm.
You know, when you spend time in the crossroads, talking with, well, the only person you can talk to is yourself.
Yeah, that gets a little boring. I tried that once, and then I started talking to my horse because the horse was a better companion, honestly, really, even though he didn't talk back that much. His name was Pegasus. He was a very good horse, but he liked to climb up on roofs a lot.
Ooh, I'm going to teach you some magic. Are you ready? It's telepathy.
I'm a dwarf. I can't do magic.
But this you can.
Don't.
See, what you do is
Don't.
you
I don't
speak-
think so. I'm
you
not
speak it
going
in
to
your
listen
head.
to you. And so she just starts singing loudly as she walks along. And I will sing it, Gabe, if you try.
So, Marisa, have you left all of them at this point? Are you just like, you know what? I'd gotten Illuvian to get to. As long as this new elf comes with me, we can go through it.
Pretty much.
Maybe,
She's doing it. She's far enough in front that she can hear, and Mavia's not quiet, so she can track where they are based on Mavia's wonderful questioning of this new elf. It's useful.
That's just the worst.
Wow.
You love it.
Ugh, love is a
He
relative
is the
emotion.
best.
I'm going to turn this Illuvian around.
Somewhere behind you, Verisa, you hear Mavia take a deep breath in what you know is going to be her about to start singing. Yep. And then she looks at Aiden before she starts singing and goes, I think he's got a staff too, but his knob isn't quite as big as the other guy. Does that mean you're not as good of a mage? I mean, I don't know how mages work. Is how big the knob is that how that works? Because maybe that's where they store all their magic. I don't know personally. I just stab things.
Knobs are just for show.
Yeah, that's what I found out in life. Mostly, yeah. Not very useful either.
This stick here is mostly for walking.
I thought your boots were made for walking, not the stick.
I also use the stick for support.
Okay.
So, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Also, what makes you think I'm a mage?
I don't know. I just see a lot of guys with sticks and they like to cast magic spells. Are you a mage?
Well, yes, but that's...
See, I knew I was right, and she just keeps walking. She walks away from me.
Lord. So while you all are having this round 2 or 3 of uncomfortable, awkward attempted conversation, we're going to see what's happening back in the not crossroads, because, you know, Fenris, Zevran, and Iron Bull are just kind of there. And it's, you know, now that you are in the crossroads, time does not flow normally, much like 2020. And on the side where Fenris, Zevran, and Iron Bull are, time is still normal. So it's actually been a few hours. They've struck camp, and Fenris is sullen. He is incredibly sullen and angry that Bull and Zevran are not letting him go through the Illuvian to chase after Harold and the rest of you. He's had his like tantrum of being super angry, being mad, trying to like cuss out Bull and Zevran, and now he's like sitting in a camp cot and is just mad. Like he's trying to plot how he could get through the Illuvian and slip past them, basically. Like he's trying to sneak out after hours, like, you know, when he was free and working for other people. So while he's sulking, Zevran is basically kind of pulling a Verisa, tracking around the Illuvian, trying to figure out where they could have gone, because, you know, Zevran does know a lot of Dalish lore. His mother was a Dalish elf, even though they wouldn't let her come back after she had him. So he knows all of this. He's an excellent tracker. He's an excellent murderer, for lack of a better word. And he's currently pacing around where you all went through the Illuvian. He's already checked the blood spatter from Anders being hit by Varisa's arrows. And Bull is basically on duty to keep Fenris from doing something stupid. And while Zevran is wandering around, you know, he knows the lore, he knows what the mirror is, but he's no mage to activate it. And they didn't bring Dorian with them. And now Zelanis and Harold are somewhere. So they're kind of stuck with a very angry and upset Inquisitor that, you know, while he's got a piece of fate in his hand, he's not a mage and he would never think of this, even though he's learned more about Dalish culture in the time he's been Inquisitor. So I'm going to ask for help from one of the cast who knows Dragon Age better. If someone could be Scout Harding for me, that'd be great.
I could.
Sure.
Deirdre probably could too.
I mean, whoever you need.
All right, whoever wants to be Scout Harding. Because again,
Okay.
I painted myself in a corner with NPC voices because I'm smart.
Okay, I can do Harding.
But Kelly, you don't know who Scout Harding is. So there's the rub. So Zevran is wandering around. He spies Scout Harding, and he wants to know what your people have found because they've been dispatched to see what's around here. Are there other Illuvians? Is this the only one? And, you know, he knows that Anders went through the mirror, but he's kind of hopeful that maybe there's another one and Anders fell out of that one. But he doesn't know. He's been pacing around and checking.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's not. No, there's not. Mm-mm.
She speaks with an American accent.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to go through it in my head. Yeah, I haven't seen anything else. Really.
We can't return to Skyhold without Anders or the rest of the people that we hired. I'm having my hands full keeping the Inquisitor from running through the mirror himself.
Yeah. We can try, but there's nothing else here. There's this, and that's all we found.
All right, then dispatch one of your people to bring Dorian and Solus here. We're going to need them.
Okay.
I mean, it's not far to Skyhold, so in theory, they could be there by middle of next day. Because it's getting late, and at some point, either someone's going to have to put Fenris to sleep, or they're going to have to, like, guard his tent, because he's going to do something foolish.
Glad that's not me.
Well, he already did something foolish earlier last season. But yeah, it is uncomfortable in that moment because they can hear Fenris kind of getting up pacing, and every time he sticks his head out, Bull is right there like, boss, nope, you're staying in that tent, and he like starts swearing at him in Kunlat because Fenris would know it. He lived on Saharan. And all you hear is like this angry muttering floating out of the tent on occasion. And Bull just like, nope, that's not possible. Nope. Did that. Zevran taught me that one. No, not possible. You'd have to break my horns. That's really not possible, boss. I mean, no, not even with the redhead at the bar and you and Zevran. No, that's not possible. So Fenris is just calling him everything but a child of Andraste. And this is how the rest of the evening goes. You know, they've sent for Dorian and Solus, and obviously tonight, aka the same day, they will not show up, but they will eventually get to where the camp is. And that's how the rest of the evening goes for our grumpy Inquisitor, because he's kind of worried about his, for lack of a better word, his boyfriend. Hawk is around, but Hawk is steering very clear of him right now. Because Hawk is like, oh, I messed with his boyfriend, the new one. He is not real happy with me right now. Maybe I should not say a word. And that is it. Bull basically is going to have his hands full, keeping Fenris from doing something foolish, at least until the next morning when the other mages can get there. And with that, we're going to come back to your group that hopefully by now has gotten to these two Illuvians that Verisa found. So Verisa, what do you tell the rest of the party about these two Illuvians, the one shattered and the one that's still intact?
You probably went through one of these two. My bet is the one that's still intact. The one that's shattered's been shattered for a while. I wasn't that far behind him. He was still actively bleeding at the time. But we need someone, and she kind of turns and looks at Athson, who knows how to open it.
Fine.
Well, I would ask my keeper, but he's not here.
For a moment, I thought you were a keeper with all the knowledge you have.
No, we're missing somebody.
Missing more than one somebody.
Yes. We're missing a warden and a keeper.
Yeah.
What do you want to do when you find this person, by the way?
Well, I would like to ask them some questions, but very pointedly.
She means stab them.
She's not bluffing.
No.
And hopefully they can point me in the direction of my keeper and maybe our missing warden.
Unless you've seen them.
I have not seen any living soul in here for Maker knows how long.
No, I have not. All right. And then I'll conjure a bit of my blood magic and see if I can properly activate this illuvian.
All right, tell us what that looks like, trying to activate the illuvian.
So there's going to be like one of his nails is probably a little bit sharper than the others, and like pricks himself a little bit. And when he does, I'd say some of the veins on his arm start to glow a little bit, and the little bit of blood that was trickling out instead of dropping will probably float a little bit. And he'll like kind of glide it across the illuvian itself.
And what happens when you do that?
So do I know like what this place is like, what it's going to look like that we're aiming for, or I'm merely just trying to open the gateway basically?
You're trying to open the gateway because from what you can see and what Varys explained is that the blood trail stopped, and so that leaves you a couple options.
Mm-hmm.
Either Anders slowly was healing himself as he walked, which could happen. He is a spirit healer. Something about the area around the Soluvians basically keeps it pristine around these mirrors. So even if he was still bleeding a little bit, something in the crossroads, at least not on the other side that you came through, like if this had been the side that you came through the mirror, at least everyone else, that blood trail would go right up and through the mirror. But where you are, it's like something wants to keep this space almost not desecrated, sanctified. Like something about it is like a none shall pass, nothing shall desecrate this space kind of feel. Or Anders is just, he didn't go through the mirror, but there's only one way to find out.
Yeah. So then after I like basically gloss the mirror, I'll then essentially just infuse the magic that I have within inside of myself, and I'll just pour as much magic as I need to into this mirror itself to make that connection and basically open that gateway.
So as you do this, you can feel the mirror, like there's something, you almost feel like something is satisfied from having tasted your blood.
That's fair. I'm delicious.
It's only
that. Good to give.
Damn it. But it's you feel something is very gratified by having tasted blood after so long. Could be a demon, you don't know. But because you have imbued your own natural power with the power of blood, the mirror starts to shimmer, And kind of like those drinks made with hypnotic and glitter. That's kind of what it looks like. I know that's not the best
Amazing.
description, but
It's like the old transporter effect where they shook around the glitter in the tube.
yeah, but like the mirror just kind of like, even though you just kind of rub blood on it, it's a very clean mirror effect, and you see the shimmering. And then when you look through, you see a different area of the cross. And there's a ripple effect. You're touching it currently, Addison, because you had to use your blood magic.
Yep.
So it does ripple where your fingers rest on the glass. And it feels strange. It feels cool. So not strange to you per se, because you've gone through mirrors in the crossroads.
Yeah.
But it is a little like odd to the touch.
I don't particularly know how I feel about that. Well, let's make haste, shall we?
And do you push through the mirror to the other side?
I do immediately.
All right. Do the rest of you follow?
Mavia immediately starts bouncing through, dragging Bastion. And as she goes through, she starts yelling, "So if I stabbed you, would your blood do the floaty thing?" And just starts going through the mirror.
Okay.
No, but yours would.
Verisa, do you follow?
Yeah. She glances at Bastion and just nods.
Oh, I've been pulled through. Maybe.
Oh, you've been pulled through.
Yeah.
Okay, she'll follow immediately. She'll like just shake her
Mavia's
head
been
and follow.
holding his hand this whole time, like swinging it, and then she just drags him through.
Yeah, she'll follow behind Bastion and Mavia.
And Aiden, what do you do?
I will follow, relieved that I now have a means of leaving this place.
Well, you can leave that area of the crossroads. Of course, nothing can be that simple.
Of course not.
And you all get through the mirror, and what you see, you finally see some normal trees. You finally see other Illuvians, and they're not all shattered. Obviously, this looks more not normal. For those of you that are mages or have touched magic, it feels like you're in the Fade.
Home sweet home.
And
What would it feel like to Mavia?
Mavia would just have this sense of strangeness, of I don't belong here. Like when like when your friend drags you to a party because they don't want to go by themselves, but you don't know anyone, and you never feel quite right until you get to leave. So that's how you feel while you're in the crossroads, where just something unnatural is around you. Not unclean, but just like the things you've heard mages talk about, like the Fade. But it's not the Fade because even though you've looked around, you can't see a floating city. And things are not like the sickly green. You don't see a dark floating city. So it's not the Fade. But again, this is all based on what mages you've encountered have told you. They could have been lying to you for all you know.
So she just feels other, basically.
Other and just like off kilter, like you've missed a step and you're constantly falling.
Okay.
And so the scene you see before you see some unbroken Illuvians. You also see normal trees and vegetation for the first time in this, going through strange mirrors and looking for Anders and the rest of your party. What do you all do?
Verisa's got an arrow knocked and she's looking for any sign of Anders or Zelanis or Harrow.
Okay. Are you doing an active check, or are you just like kind of sticking with the group for now?
She's doing like a point sweep.
Okay.
So
And what
Do you want me to
other
roll for it?
roll for it if you actively like either leave the party or
Mhm.
are focused on finding a sign of Anders. But for just doing a perimeter sweep, no.
Okay. She is looking for Anders, and she's looking for a sign of anyone really on the other side of this. She doesn't trust it. So
Okay.
4, 6, 10. Wow, I rolled well.
Yeah, so you notice footprints. So clearly some other living being has been around, but there is not a blood trail that like the one that had dwindled off. And I mean, you all know that Anders is a mage, so it's very possible that he's been healing himself, but he's not so great at the hiding where he'd know to cover his tracks right now because he's scared and he's wounded. And as Risa pointed out, you notice the possession. And at this point it's known that he's possessed or something's wrong with him for having blown up the chantry. So he's not being super cautious about covering his trail. So there are footprints, but you don't know, are they your new companion's footprints and did they come this way first? Or are they the footprints of this human mage you're tracking? The rest of you are now in this area. What do you do?
I would approach Athson.
Yes.
Maleficarum. They don't teach you that in the circle.
No, they do not, sadly.
Self-thought?
In a way, yes. I have learned much. Now I don't need to just ask people what they're thinking. Sometimes I can just take it. Or, well, if I'm feeling a bit drained, maybe someone else can give me a pick-me-up, so to speak. Self-preservation and all that.
You have to do what you have to do to survive.
You do. Even if it means working with strangers.
Well, I'm for one am grateful that you can make these mirrors work.
The loud one asked how long we'd been here. I came in this time recently. How long have you been here?
I don't know. It's
Oh.
been a while. Yet
Go ahead.
it feels like I've been in here for, well, a month perhaps? All of my rations and food are gone. My water skin is empty. I've learned to live with headaches and stomach pains. I was pretty sure I would die here.
Well, here's to not dying, friend.
Indeed.
Out of curiosity, what age was it? So was it silver? What age was it in the world of Thetis?
When
When
he
you
stepped
went-
through?
Yes.
I'll send it to you by Zoom and correct me if you want to correct me on it, because this is the idea I had.
Okay. All right. While that happens, Bastion, what are you doing?
I'm assuming that Mavia still has my hand, and therefore am limited. I'm also assuming Bastion would have recognized the use of blood magic.
Right. Oh, definitely would have.
So he's definitely not thrilled, but is taking into consideration Virissa's actions, you know, the fact that they spoke and she got the blood mage to open the Illuvian. So seething as he is, he's trying not to do anything about it at this point. The necessary evil. But he's not thrilled. Like he doesn't quite know what to do with Athson yet because it wasn't the he just rubbed him the wrong way initially and now just has all that more reason to not be thrilled.
Okay. That makes sense. So you already were not feeling this new dude, and now that he has used the blood magic, you're really not feeling him?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah,
poor
there's miles to cross there.
Yeah. And poor Mavia, how are you doing?
Well, Mavia's kind of used to bullshitting her way through feeling out of place. Because she always feels out of place, especially recently. And she's used to kind of lying her way through it.
Okay.
But I think in this place, she's found something she can't bullshit.
Okay.
So she feels, she actually, I think, would have dropped Bastian's hand. And she's looking around very nervously. And kind of like, it's that weird feeling you get when you're getting a chill, but you're not cold.
Yeah, the as people say, someone
walk over your grave. Yeah, she's got that kind of feeling, and it's like her hackles are up. Like she feels like she is not supposed to be here, and she does not want to be here. It's a different not supposed to be here than lying on your resume.
Okay. This is the bad place, not supposed to be here.
Yeah, this is not the good place.
Okay. So Verissa, you find footprints. I'm sorry, actually, Aiden, what are you doing aside from anything else? Because at this point, you just kind of walked out and you're like, oh, vegetation, things, but no clear sign of this of Anders.
No, and if I remember right, I only see dead vegetation.
Except for those trees. Those trees look surprisingly spry and green.
Ooh, that's a change. This mage you're looking for. He came through here?
That's what we're attempting to find out.
But you referred to him as a Shem.
Verissa referred to him as a Shem.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Sorry, the names tend to escape me. We didn't go through proper introductions either. How would he be able to open the Illuvian? Are you hunting a blood mage?
He's possessed, and he opened it on the other side once.
Demons are able to grant those
Not
magics.
Not just demons.
I'm assuming any spirit could do so. You'd have to ask the keeper that. That's not my place.
Alas, poor Zalanis, you knew him well, yet he is not with you.
I do not believe the soul of the dead have the power to open up an illuvian.
Hmm.
So they would be either benevolent spirits of the Fade, or, as you said, a demon. Hmm.
Well, as you all debate this, are you all going to kind of stand around out of the illuvian that you came out of? Or, Varisa, are you going to check and see if there's any other signs of your prey?
Verisa will glance at Bastion and just kind of like nod with her questioning eye towards out, like, I'm gonna do this. Is that okay with you? Sort of.
He's gonna nod back, like, sure.
Don't get dead.
Likewise.
And
Wait,
she's
is
gonna
that-
try.
Is that a current option? I'm not. Why is? Are we expecting to get dead?
No, Mavia. Just an expression.
I don't like your expressions. You should work on them. They're depressing. And then she just kind of wanders off because she's like, she really isn't comfortable right now. She stays near the group. She just kind of wanders away from Bastion.
Okay.
Bastion is
Yeah.
gonna kind of lean over towards Atson and say very, very quietly, touch the dwarf, and you're going to suffer.
Why do you have this assumption that threatening me has any value in you getting out of here? If I wanted to do something to the dwarf, wouldn't I have done it by now, you idiot?
Oh. Look here. You're the type that exploits everybody for everything they're worth before doing what you want to do.
He turns at you very clearly. You have no idea what my life has been like. And there is a reason I am no longer at the circle. Do not make assumptions, as I have not. I made no judgment on who you were, and you have done that since you have seen me. And he stands a little bit taller. You have pointed a weapon, and I did nothing. You have spoken up, and I did nothing. Give me another reason to test my own patience, as you make judgments, and I have not. You came through the door because of me. Should I leave you?
Bastion is just gonna smile wryly, turn and walk away.
If it comes to it, I would like not to be left behind. Just, I want that noted somewhere.
Oh, not at all. I like you. You're very friendly.
Would
Like a flip of the
Mavia
coin
have
for
noticed
disposition.
Bastion doing that? Because she stayed pretty close.
I
I
mean,
don't know who that's a question for, if it's for Tanya or for
I
Bastion.
repeat the question.
Would Mavia have noticed Bastion confront Atson, and Atson, I assume, didn't try to stay quiet when he answered?
No.
Oh, you would have absolutely noticed this. Because again, this is it's quiet but too quiet kind of place. So unless someone is like either speaking a language you don't know or doing the lean in real close to each other and speaking very low just so they can hear each other and that's it, y'all are going to hear these confrontations.
Bastion's intention would have been to like make it so that only Atson would have heard what he had to say.
Yeah, Asin was intentionally making a spectacle of it.
Hmm.
So Mavia would kind of, she tilts her head and she listens. She sees Bastion walk away, and she kind of crosses paths with him, and she pats him on the arm, and she's like, you know it's going to be fine, right?
course, it's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be fine. I mean, I've gotten us out of worse situations, right?
Counting on you, babe.
I mean, we find someone to pickpocket, it's gonna be really fun, right? And she's speaking with that tone that you use when you're really trying to be cheerful and you really don't mean it.
And for her sake, Bastion is just like smiling back at her as best that he can, given the situation.
And she kind of wanders over to Atson and she sticks her hand out. Just like sticks her hand out to him. Like handshake style. I think we might have gotten off on the wrong foot.
I would agree.
Mm.
No, he'll shake your hand.
Let's start again. I'm Mavia. The trail snack was not poisoned. In fact, it was delicious.
I am Athson. I was raised as a circle mage and have found myself doing things the circle does not necessarily approve of. Thus, I am much more cautious of people, and I do not take kindly to assumptions of who I am.
You can assume all you want about me because none of them really know who I am either.
Assumptions
I lied
get
to get
people
my way
dead.
here.
What?
Yep.
You concern me.
I concern everyone. And she just walks away.
Hi. I'm Aiden.
Oh, hi, I'm Mavia. Do you want a trail snack? I think I have one left. Are you not hungry?
I haven't
They're
eaten
really
a thing
good.
in weeks, please.
Okay, good. They've got nuts in. And she hands him over a trail snack.
She's so weird.
Ugh.
I mean, I hope you have water because it's pretty dry. I have
know.
water somewhere. And she like pats around and she finds like a little thing and she hands it to him. It is not water. It is whiskey, but she has forgotten about that. It's in her water skin. So please take a gulp of it as if it's water.
He
Probably
will,
can't get
and
her
then
tongue.
will promptly spit it out. That's not... Your water went bad.
No.
Was that the whiskey?
That was the whiskey. Oh. Okay, I'll just take that back. Yeah, I'll take that back. How are we going to get out of here? Because you all seem to know where we are, and I really don't feel comfortable here. And as we all know, I start talking a lot when I'm not comfortable, and unless you want to hear me talk a lot, we're just going to need to get out of here. I'm really serious right now.
While I might know where we are, I have no idea how to get out of here. That's absence.
She'll turn and stare up at Atson. Do you really need one of my thoughts? If I give you one of my thoughts, will you get us out of here?
No, maybe.
No, I do not need one of your thoughts. But thank you for offering. I was going to ask for one of your thoughts because it would give me an opportunity to decide if I could actually trust any of you or not. But I've already made that decision, so it's fine.
What was your
No.
decision?
You'll have to get my thoughts for that.
I mean, I can't do anything fancy.
Exactly.
I can just get you drunk.
I don't drink.
Yet.
So there's a bunch of unbroken alluvians here.
Yes.
Is there any blood like around here at all?
You'll have to give me perception. Actually, everyone give me a perception.
Yeah, let's do it.
Would the focus searching come into to play?
Absolutely.
8.
Fuck.
Hold on, what is it? It is.
11.
Okay, 11.
I can't math. Why can I not math tonight?
I don't know.
6, 10, 6, 10, 13.
Good lord.
Okay.
11.
Okay.
Mavia, what the hell?
Maybe we can't hear you.
Okay, that can't be right. I don't count the blue one, right?
Yes, you count it.
Yes, you do.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
That would also
Yeah.
give you 6 stunts.
20. 22. I guess.
I'm sorry, like the dwarf, the one that doesn't belong here, gets 22.
Mind you, I'm sitting here counting on my fingers. So.
No, I'm just like that's a roll. That's a roll. Okay, so surprising everyone. Maybe, because she's just so like she's just so like focused on trying to find a way out because she knows she does not belong here. Mavia is the one who spots the blood trail again. And to her, it actually doesn't look quite like blood, but it's not normal. And some of you notice Mavia looking at the ground and being very intent and like walking and stuffing snacks back in her pockets as she's walking toward this kind of large patch of some of you it actually looks very red, some of you it just looks weird, like a wet spot on the ground, because it's not the Fade, but also some of you really shouldn't be here as non-elves. So
yeah, Mavia is now that when your cat sees something on the floor that you don't, like a bug or something, and she's staring at it, and you're like, "What the hell are you staring at?"
Yeah. So Mavia, you are laser focused, and you're passing these broken illuvians, these other illuvians. You don't care, and you find what looks to be signs of someone who was clearly injured. But it looks a little weird to you, and you all, as other people catch up with you, they can see if the blood is old or fresh. But as you get closer, you realize, oh, that's blood. So what do you do, Mavia?
I would kind of crouch down next to it to see if I could tell if it was fresh or old.
Okay.
And approximately how long. She's had some experience with bloody scenes.
So because you roll so well, you realize that this blood it's not super old, so whoever is losing blood, either they passed by recently or maybe an animal was wounded. You can't tell what creature the blood belongs to, but that something passed by within the last few hours that is in some trouble.
So it's not necessarily a lethal amount of blood, but it's enough to incapacitate, possibly.
Possibly, yes, depending on the size of the creature. And if they're still bleeding like that, if you find more big splotches like that, they're in trouble.
Do I see, besides the big splotch, do I see any smaller areas on either side of it?
No, you see splatter here and there, and
but mostly in a line.
Yeah, kind of in a line. So if you cut yourself, and unless you're flinging yourself around, you're like, oh god, I'm injured. It's pretty straightforward. What are the rest of you doing as you notice Mavia
not
super focused?
Follow her.
Yeah, Verisa had gone off to try and track things down, so she probably is already a ways away, and she notices Mavia, and Verisa sees it as blood because she's an elf in here. So the colors are right for her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she would just come up next to Mavia and try and see where the trail continues.
What is our blood mage doing with this?
He probably doesn't get any closer to the group because the guard dog is very loud.
The guard dog?
Bastion.
Oh, I was like, when did you get him a Bari? When did this happen?
Yeah.
Did Scotty apparate in with you?
he just stands and waits a fair distance away, almost as if waiting to be acknowledged before he does anything else.
Okay. Aiden and Bastien, what are you doing?
Keeping an eye out on Bastien because I'm not quite sure when he's going to snap. But I mean, if everyone's moving to follow Mavia, I would also get closer. I don't want to leave Bastien out of my sight.
Okay.
Bastion is gonna look down at the blood, kind of look up at Athson and just say to him, "This should be your expertise if you care to look."
What is it?
Oh, you know. Can you tell us anything about it?
He did not get closer. He's like yelling at you, asking what you're looking at.
We're looking at a bunch of blood from a mage I shot.
I am a mage,
I possibly
not a tracker.
Well, you did all the fancy stuff with blood. Do you want to come look at this?
Healthy? Is it diseased? Is there something we should know? Can you read on it?
And maybe it breaks in. She goes, "Can you talk to blood? Because that would be really interesting. Can you talk to it and find out is it human? Is it animal? How long has it been here?
Ask him.
I'm asking Edson. Now she's just staring at you.
He takes a deep breath. Oh, this might have been a mistake. And
she walks over to you and pats you on your arm, and she goes, "Everyone says that about me the first time. It's okay. You can come look at this."
And yeah, he'll take a look at the blood. I don't know if he's very experienced in gauging how long something has been, since he really only works with his own or other people's, but then they usually die. So
yes, Teresa.
Yeah, so what does it look like, I guess? What can he gauge from looking at it?
The blood stain is a little bit dark, so and this is where I'm going to have to defer to Kelly out of character. Darker blood comes from where? Because I know that some
brighter blood is arterial.
Okay.
Darker blood would be from if they severed a major vein.
Okay.
That's why if there had been spray, it would have been arterial, she caught him in the femoral artery or something. But
okay, so this person's
pooling and dropping is vein.
Okay, so this person has.
You act like I'm a serial killer. My God.
What's wrong with this? I don't. You're the one that watches murder things.
It's true.
So you can tell that this blood is older, from an older injury, but it's not congealed. It's not cold to the touch, and it could be warm just because you're outside and the ambient temperature is a nice spring day. Mm-hmm. So it's not ooh, it's just super cold to the touch and this person bled out a while ago. But it is getting dark. So, when blood gets that rust color. So whoever this is wounded, and if they keep bleeding out in splotches like this, they won't be wounded very long.
I'll pass that information on. This is not good. The person is probably dying currently.
If your plan was to catch them alive, I think we'd be best to hurry.
Do we know if this is Anders though?
You don't know if it is specifically Anders' blood. All you know is there's blood. For all you know, you could be chasing a wounded deer or Druffalo that got shot by something or got attacked by a predator and is running off to die somewhere, for all you know.
Teresa, are there Fluffalo prints?
There are no
Um,
Fluffalo prints, but can Varisa do something?
Sure. And then we'll see what Aiden wanted.
Can I roll natural lore to determine if it's human or animal? Because she's killed both extensively, and they smell differently.
Okay, go for it.
They do. Like, have you ever pulled like a steak out, and it's got like a really bloody steak? It smells differently than like if you cut yourself.
No, can't.
Okay, sorry.
I'm just like, you all have had interesting lives, far more than I have.
I'm just thinking steak, is like steak, but where would you have that quantity of flesh from a human being to?
I'm just like, if you just,
friend.
I'm talking about like the smell of the blood, just in general.
When you cut yourself, or
It's like a very irony smell.
Yeah, it's a little different versus it's just different.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Not
13,
that I
15,
know.
19.
I defer to better judgment.
19.
With the 19, you can tell that it is human blood, but not what human it belongs to. You would assume it's Anders, but you never know.
Well, it's definitely not an animal, and it's probably. Okay, question. When you say human, do you mean humanoid or human?
It's not an elf.
Like,
so it's
yeah, okay.
So when I
Yeah.
say human, it's because if I meant elf or something, I would say elf or Canary
Yeah.
or something. No,
I was just double checking. Yeah, well, it's definitely human. And it's bleeding profusely. He must have tried to pull the arrow out. That was probably not his best idea. Or he's someone else that's bleeding profusely. I vote we go after him further.
Because remember, you've got 2 people missing.
Yeah, and I have no idea where they came through except in the Illuvian, and the only person who turned the Illuvian on was Anders, so he would have the most information about where they could have ended up.
Unless a certain keeper went through an Illuvian too.
Yeah, she's really trying not to focus on that. But yes.
Well, you all know that this is human blood, and Aston's creepiness aside, yeah.
So it's not detailed anywhere in the book, but it exists in the lore. Templars use mage's blood, what we have in our phylacteries, to home in on us.
Correct.
There's no spell or ability that does it, like, per se in the rules. But could Athson and Aiden together try to figure out if this is specifically mage blood?
They could, but I'll have to look that up because I'm not sure how phylacteries work. And you probably would need other components than what you have around you right now.
Okay.
Also, and this is totally out of character at this point. And remember, Bastien did not complete his Templar training, so he may or may not know how to make a phylactery.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about the phylactery itself. I was just going to use like one of the blood spatter. I don't know if it would work
but more in the using blood to track. So of all of you, Aston may or may not have the best chance based on spells.
Yeah.
But I think that is actually a really good place to kind of call it as you all figure out what you're going to do with this human blood splatter that you have now come across after going through a second Illuvian for some of you, a third for others. And right now, we have Zevran, Bull, and Fenris back in camp near Skyhold, wondering, what do I do? Why can't I go after them? And all of you, well, at least those of you that are together, you're now like, I find blood. What will I do with it? And Harold is off somewhere on his own. Hopefully he won't die. We can hope. And Zelanis is wandering, and he seems to have fallen to a temple that used to be for Fen'Harel. So let's see what happens to him. And with that, we are done. I turn it back over to you, Simon, to close this out.
Hi. We're lost.
You are.
That was a fun game. I have missed Dragon Age, y'all. And once again, it is a Thursday night. It is almost 11, and I feel the urge to reinstall Inquisition for the nth time. But I will not do it because I've seen news about Dragon Age 4 today. So I'm
What?
like, yeah, there's a new developer that was hired, or narrative designer.
Let's talk after we're done. Everyone go quickly so we can talk about Dragon Age 4.
But anyway, I saw it very quickly. I didn't even read the article, but I was like, ooh, more Dragon Age. So I'm Simon at Wandering DM. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you to all of you who hang out in chat. Thank you for the follows, the subs, the bits, the everything. Thank you to all of you watching the VOD on YouTube. It's always greatly appreciated to know that we have fans on the other platform. Thank you to all of our sponsors, Machen Press, Found Familiar, Roll20. Thank you to our partners through the Diceomancy program, Level Up Dice. You can all check them out using the links in chat or the panels down below. If you're on YouTube, you're gonna have to go onto the Twitch to see that. We also have, I also have a new Patreon. If you want to check that out, patreon.com/wanderingdm. I offer free encounters, mini adventures, as well as player and GM workshops. If you're interested in bettering yourself as a GM, I shouldn't say bettering, just adding more skills to your repertoire, whether it is for like group management, story progression, world building, if you want to talk just like communication skills, even for players, like how to develop a character, how to make them interesting, story beats, all of that jazz. Our first workshops are actually this Saturday, so if you pledge today, you will be eligible for the workshop on Saturday. It's in the afternoon. I don't remember the time exactly, but I believe it is. It begins at 5 Eastern. So that's that. You can find us again here tomorrow for some Cyberpunk. We're going to be playing Cyberpunk Red. Then next week there will be a Dragon Age game. There will be a Castle Falkenstein game on Monday. But there will not be a Cyberpunk game Friday night because of Gen Con Online. We here at Wandering DM are going to be hosting a bunch of panels about the art of The Witcher, the art of Cyberpunk, what's coming up for The Witcher. We're gonna have Cody Pondsmith here. We're gonna have a bunch of people from Talsorian. So if you want to stop by and watch these streams with us, that'll be, the schedule is up. Talsorian posted it on their Twitter. I'm gonna retweet it too, starting next week. That said, let's go around the table. Tell us who you are, where we can find you. If you have anything to plug, players know that you can post all the links in chat. Let's do the same order as the intros, and we'll begin with Farissa.
Oh, hey, all. You know me. I'm at Dirtradon on Twitter, or Praxagorth as Miaphorias. You see me around on Twitch. And I missed this. I missed the shenanigans. I missed all of you wonderful people. Thank you, Gabe, for coming and joining us, because fun times are great. Thank you, Tanya, for putting up with all of our crazy. I'm sure this will be fine. Everything will be fine. But as for me, you can find me on my channel tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, as we continue recitations and digressions, working our way through Ovid's Metamorphoses. It'll be fine. It'll be great. And then tomorrow night, back here for Cyberpunk Red. And then I'll see you all next week. But where you can check my Twitter, because I was supposed where I'm going to be, all the fun things I do, all the fun people I get to hang out with, all the fun stories and games that I write. And just come hang out. We're cool. Sort of. I'll be back next week.
And Anders. Jesus. Andrew.
Oh. I mean, I
Anders.
suppose the name kind of
now-
lends itself, you know.
You're now Anders.
I am now Anders. Hi, everyone. I am
call was coming
Andrew.
from inside the stream.
The what?
Never mind.
Ball came from inside the house. Never pick up the phone. Oh no, wait, we're not blondes. We're fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
I was actually born platinum. I was platinum blonde until I was about 5 years old. I have moments occasionally,
God.
but
Do you have
Yeah.
anything to plug though?
you can find me here on Thursdays for Thirsty Thursdays. I love seeing your faces again, Gabe. Thank you so much for adding your own shenaniganery to the rest of the crew. I love it. It is going to be so great. At Anderful1 on Twitter, which eventually I will be more active on. That's about it for me. Next.
That would be Kelly.
Hi, I'm Kelly, the Opera Geek. Right now, you can mostly find me here on Thursdays, playing, well, you just watched it, playing Dragon Age. Yes, that's what we just played. I've also been streaming on my own channel, lunch break live streams, which is sometimes Animal Crossing. Then when I get mad at Animal Crossing, it's like face tanking flamethrower in Path of Exile. Then when I get mad at that, apparently I play weird bird lawyer games that give me nightmares. But come join us. It's twitch.tv/theoperageek, or you can find all my links on Twitters right there. I linked it in chat. Thanks for coming, and thanks, Gabe, for coming back after I tortured you in the Witcher game.
Speaking of Gabe, you're up.
Hi, so I'm Gabe, Gabe James Games on Twitch, Twitter, and pretty much anywhere else on the internet. This has been an experience. It's only going to get wilder. I had picked spells anticipating what was going to happen, but I've got new ideas now.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah. There's like the specific little section that's just blood magic. It's real interesting. But other than that, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing all the madness that happens here because I realize it's only going to get more chaotic. Tanya, I bless your patience. You saint of a person.
Oh, that's okay. You might just get a PayPal request once in a while. Buy me some alcohol.
And speaking of Tanya, where can we find you?
So Thursdays, you can obviously find me here over on Simon's channel for more Dragon Age shenaniganry, and thank you everyone for indulging me in this basically AU fanfic version of one of my favorite franchises ever. Oh, Jesus Christ. My cat just scared me. No, like he laid on my foot and scared me because he did the ninja thing. Saturday on my channel and Gary Whitta, if you like Animal Crossing and you like D&D, we started a new show called Dungeon Crossing, where I take 4 new and lapsed players on a low-level adventure, and along the way explain what I'm doing and why this is important to be a good digital citizen in Animal Crossing and in D&D. So that is Saturday, noon Central, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, and we're going to see if Gary Whitta's character has learned any lessons, because he basically was a murder hobo from the start with a very grim, dark backstory. Then Sunday, Rebels Waterdeep is back. We are on episode 6 of season 7, and then that evening, Aegon, which is a Greek mythology-based system over at Bard and Barbarian. Diana, formerly of Level Up Dice, is running that, and I'm in that with Justice, Mason, B. Dave Walters when he actually is awake and not running around like a maniac, and God, who else? No, that's it. There's only 4 of us. And tomorrow, I will be doing a thing for Patreon, actually, called The Show Up. I'll be on at 10 Pacific, 12 Central, so it's on their YouTube, and I'll tweet it out again before we go live. So I'm doing a lot, and so Sunday night, no one talk to me once Aegon is over. Thanks.
All right, thank you everyone for coming. We'll see you next week for some more Dragon Age. Bye-bye.